I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box with our own.
Yo, what's up, broskiis? Yugioh, coming at you with another deck profile. This one, it's definitely out of like left field or so. I've been like grinding this pretty hard, like on Master Duel. I don't have like this, like what I play with on Master Duel. Like I have like access to more cards like in real life. Just because like some of the cards like in here, like if you play Master Duel, like the rarity is like super high, and like in real life you might have like more access to it. And stuff like that. But so this differs a little bit from the one I play online, but I picked the whole core up like in person because I thought the deck was really interesting. I'm a pretty big fan of one of those progression series. It's off MBT's YouTube channel, and I saw him play this deck and I was like, dang, this deck seems kind of fun. I wouldn't say it's like the most broken in real life. I wouldn't even say it's like, you know, it's like meta threatening. It's one of those decks that you can pick up for like super cheap. You can play it casual, and you know, if you get good at it, you know, you can definitely be competitive like on the local level or at like smaller events, like such as like a, you know, like a regional event. You could probably do pretty well there because this deck does do some unfair things. It's a pretty long intro, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna start with the main deck. And usually I think like a deck can be kind of like competitive depending on how many unfair things it can do. And this does like one pretty unfair thing, but Tindangle D-holes, this is, I guess this is the newest one. I forget which one came out first, King's Court or Dawn of Majesty. But this one came out of King's Court. And this card's pretty crazy. It's what the deck needed. Didn't necessarily send it over the top, but makes a lot of things more possible. The flip effect, you can send one spell trap from your deck to the graveyard, which some of the archetypal like spell traps like want to be in the graveyard so you can like, you know, search them, stuff like that. Also, if this card, well, separately, this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can target one Tindangle monster in your graveyard except D-holes, special summon and face down defense. And you can only use each of the preceding effects of Tindangle D-holes once per turn. The Tindangle Link monster, which there's only one that's used. This card is material, can make 3 attacks during each battle phase. So this card like really like kind of sends it over the top, especially the extra deck boss monster, because you can just OTK out of nowhere, because it's just 9,000 points of damage like in one card essentially. This one's the one out of Dawn of Majesty. This card's kind of crazy. Tindangle Drelth. The flip effect, you can take one flip effect monster from your deck, either add it to your hand or send it to your graveyard. It's not Tindangle specific. You can just dump any flip effect. So Shaddoll package is a really great engine to run in here. You know, you can dump some of the like Shaddoll Dragon, like pop floodgate, stuff like that. If this card is in your hand, you can discard one other card. It doesn't have to be a Tindangle. Send one Tindangle card from your deck to the graveyard, except Drelth. And if you do special summon this card in face down defense, so a lot of times you can send D-holes, special summon this card. And if you have another Tindangle card in your graveyard, D-holes will special summon that back. It's pretty interesting. Then if you have like Intruder, it just like gets even kind of crazier from that. Next up, Tindangle Trinity. Probably see on Master Duel, this deck's like pretty crazy. This card's pretty crazy at 3, but I think you can definitely cut it down to 2. Probably for more like floodgates or trap cards, because I run a pretty like heavy trap card package in here. But the flip effect is you can special summon one base Gardener from your deck, the Tindangle base Gardener. If this card is flipped up, your Tindangle monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, for the link summon of a Tindangle monster, you can add one Gargon's Eye end from your deck to your hand. And if you do, send one spell trap from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use that effect once per turn. I will go ahead and say I don't have the Gargon's End. I guess it's lost in the mail, so I'm gonna have to add another one, which isn't too big of a problem because it's only like 5 cents anyways. But the Geargun's ends like makes your inbox like a towers essentially. Can't be sure by card effects, stuff like that. Next up, double intruder. Realistically, you could probably cut this down to 1 because it cycles itself pretty easy. You just want this in graveyard kind of as soon as possible, because each time you, like when you special summon a card and face down defense, he special summons himself from the grave. But then his flip effect, you can add 1 Tindangle card from your deck to your hand. So it's pretty insane. And like he's kind of like the only big one. Next up, double Tindangle base card. Now, this card is just a free body. If you control face down defense position monster, it doesn't have to be a Tindangle, of course. You can special summon this card from your hand. Also, if a monster is normal special summoned and is now pointed to an opponent's link monster, you can tribute this card special summon 1 Tindangle monster from your hand or deck in attack position or face down defense position. So you can go for your you can go literally for any Tindangle card, and like if intruder's in your grave, intruder will come back, you know, stuff like that. Or you can even go for Hound, get an attack roll on field. Hound's pretty good. You can trigger one other face-up monster on the field. This card gains attack equal to the target's original attack, then change that target face down defense position. Also, each monster you control loses 1,000. Your opponent control loses 1,000 attack for each monster linked to it. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can target 1 face down monster on the field, change your face up defense, so you can get him to like proc your own card effects. 1 Angel. Angel's just kind of like another name. When it's flip face up, you can special summon Tindangle monster from your hand or graveyard. Well, 1 flip monster from your hand or graveyard. So it can be your Shaddolls, stuff like that. And the battle phase is immediately ended. 1 in real life. I don't even know if this card's like that good at 1 in real life, but on Master Duel it's like pretty crazy at 3. 1 Squamata, 1 Beast, 1 Dragon. So you already know what Squamata does. When it's flipped, you can target 1 monster on the field, destroy it. And then if this card is sent to graveyard by a card effect, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard, except Squamata. You'll activate the effect once per turn. This flip effect you can draw 2, then discard 1. If this is the graveyard, you just draw 1 card effect. This is a compulse on flip, and if it's sent to the graveyard card effect, you can target 1 spell trap card and destroy it. Hedgehog, the flip, you can add 1 Shaddoll spell trap from your deck to your hand. Usually just going for fusion. That's like the only one I run. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can add 1 Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand. And just the single Windy flip, you can special summon 1 Shaddoll monster from your deck. Face up or face down defense. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon 1 Shaddoll monster from your deck and face down defense position. So that's like it for the Shaddoll package, really. Next up, 2 Ash, just a nice generic hand trap. Double effect dealer, double ghost metal. So just 6 hand traps. Next for the spell, 2 Naggles protection. This is like the protection for your Tindangle monsters. Tindangle monster, your main monster, cannot be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effects. Once per turn, if your Tindangle monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, the damage is doubled. So when you end on your like link boss monster, it can also attack 3 times. You know that first swing is going to be double, so you're almost ensured like an OTK. And with this card's in your graveyard, you can discard 1, banish this card, then discard 1 Tindangle, add itself to your hand. So you only run 2, because pretty much searches itself, and like if they get rid of it, you can go get the other one, and it helps thin your deck. This card's fine. It's like better in Master Duel. I might cut it all together. But your opponent's monsters cannot attack if you control 3 or more Tindangle monsters. And then once per turn during your standby phase, you can give them a Tindangle monster. You can give control. You can banish this card, search itself. So so it's fine. Like it's easy, like, so usually it's because like you like put the token your Link monster generates in front of it, so you can blow up the whole board and they get smacked for a ton of damage. But I might cut it, I don't know. Double Shaddoll fusion should be 3. This is what I'm meaning by like one unfair thing like in the deck, because you can like turn 1, it's pretty easy to pump out like Shaddoll Windy and like sit on some trap cards, and then like slowly like set your cards, like get their flip effects, stuff like that. This is like the only, like, I feel like the Shaddoll package is like the main equalizer of this deck. But Triple Judgment, Below Judgment, I played like this in every trap deck. It's just crazy. Double Strike, Double Crackdown. I love Crackdown. The last card, Tindangle, Wene or whatever it's called. Like I said, I don't have the end yet, the Gargan's end, but I'll probably just cut down like a Judgment for it or something like that, or I'll find space for it somewhere. Especially if I take out this that protection spell card. Might take out that, both of those spell cards for an end and another Shaddoll fusion. This card's pretty crazy. It's basically Soul Charge. Also, when you take battle damage from, well, the effect is when you take battle damage from opponent's attacking monster, well, you have 3 or more Tindangle monsters with different names in your graveyard. You can destroy the attacking monster, and if you do, special 1 Tindangle cute Cerberus from your extra deck. The other effect is if you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 3 Tindangle monsters with different names, special them face down defense. So basically, if you have like 4 Tindangle monsters in your grave, with one of them being Intruder, you can special summon like the other 3, and then Intruder will special itself face down defense, which is pretty nuts because you're basically soul charging for 4, all at the cost of like just banishing this card. I did have this at 2. I'm just trying to find space currently. I haven't like mega tested this in person, or at least at the local level. Hoping to do that this weekend though. That's it for the main deck. Extra 2 Shaddoll construct. It just requires 2 flip effects, and then basically during your main phase, you can just fusion summon 1 Shaddoll fusion monster from your extra deck using monster from your hand or field as material. Also, if this card is graveyard, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your hand or face up from the field to the grave, and if you just special summon this card, so it recurs itself. For this, how you get into your Windy, your Windy pretty easy, or Winda. Triple Subterror, Behemoth Fiendus. This card's pretty insane. Just 2 flip effect monsters. The first effect isn't really relevant because you don't run any Subterror monsters. But during your main phase, you can send 1 flip monster from your deck to the grave, and if you do, special 1 monster from your hand and face down defense. So that's why it's so important to get Intruder in rotation so quick, because you're plussing so hard. It just says send 1 flip monster from your deck to your graveyard, so you can send 1 of your Shaddoll cards. You can send a D Holes to special summon like another Tindangle card from your graveyard, and then you can special 1 from your hand to a zone this card points to. You can like use this effect of Fiendus once per turn. Also, once per turn, if a monster this card points to is flip face up, you can add 1 flip monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So this helps recycle stuff. Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn. It's a pretty standard package. Trace Bay for back row decks, even though we're a back row deck. Triple Tindangle cute Cerberus. This card's pretty interesting. Like I said, it's like a Towers with the Trap card. Gains 3k attack if you have 3 more Tindangle monsters, including the base card now. And it gains 500 attack for each Tindangle monster it points to. At the end of the battle phase, this card declared an attack, you can special summon 1 Tindangle token. So you get it to the arrows, and then the trap card has an effect, like you can blow the trap card up and they get burned for like all the attack equal to the Link ratings, or something like that. And then 1 construct, and then 1 window to round it out. But that is pretty much it for this one. Remember to like the video if you like the video. Comment down below what you want to see next. Also comment if you want for me to take this to local so I can see some results of this deck. That might be pretty interesting. I might try to you know, get a vlog going into that. Probably show some replays, real life duels. Like I said, like the video, comment down below if you want to see any of that, and subscribe because we're almost to our 500 subscribers goal, and we'll see you next time.